OW Root, and this is Pleasant Peninsula. When do we start to grill? When do we bust out the charcoal? When do we bust out the gas grill? When do we leave the kitchen and stand outside on the back deck over that hot iron, the smell of the charbroiled meat wafting into our nostrils? It's a summer feeling, obviously. The grill is for summer, but we can start in spring. And I say we push it as even earlier than that. For me, as soon as I can shovel a path to the grill outside, as soon as I can get enough snow off the deck where I'm walking on wood rather than ice, I'm grilling. And that's how it was this past week. Yeah, it was 41 degrees. Yeah, I was wearing a winter coat, but the smell of those roasted peppers, those charred onions, mushrooms, the chicken and the burgers, it's a sweet smell of summer. And in Michigan, in the deep north, we are stuck inside, and it's so dismal for so long. I bust the grill out as soon as possible. I will force nice weather to come, whether it's ready or not. If you don't know Faygo, are you a Michigander? If you don't have a favorite flavor, are you really one of us? This is the question. I'm not sure. This might be the litmus test. The Faygo test might be the litmus test. Do you know Faygo or do you not know Faygo? Are you Michigander or are you not Michigander? And you know, it makes sense. This should be the litmus test because Faygo is deep Michigan lore. Faygo has been around longer than all of us have been around. Back in 1907, Ben and Perry Fagenson, Russian immigrants to Michigan, started playing with cake frosting recipes, cake frosting flavors from the old world, and twisting them into liquid form, bubbly liquid form in the new world. And this became Faygo. You can see how that happened because when you taste Faygo, this sweet, delicious, sweet flavors, you can see how they originated in cake frosting. You can see that transition or that development, that growth, that evolution. And so Faygo is deep Michigan lore. It is a part of Michigan history. It's a part of our heritage. And everyone has their own favorite flavor. Everyone has memories of birthday parties, reunions, after school. Remember those big 3 liters, those Faygo 3 liters? I don't know if they still make them, but the top was huge. I remember those. I remember seeing those on the grocery store shelf. It was 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. So while everyone has their own favorite flavors, there are 5 definitive top Faygo flavors. And I'm going to tell you what they are. And there is also one definitive, most iconic Faygo flavor of all time. And we'll get to that at the end. But let's do the rundown, the top 5 Faygo flavors of all time. Number 5, orange. It's got to be orange. Orange has to be in the top 5 because orange is the go-to if you don't want cola. You don't want cola. You want something with something sweet, some interesting flavor. But you also don't want a dessert pop. This is orange. It's the number 1 choice. It's 101. It's orange. You can drink it with dinner. It's not only for dessert. Orange is a go-to. Number 4, cream soda. Cream soda put me off for a while when I was a kid. And it's because it's clear. It looks like water. You know, when you're a kid, you want the colorful soda. You want that neon nuclear color. You don't want something that looks like water. And the thing is, cream soda is actually a very old pop. You hear old people talk about it. You hear your grandpa, your great-grandpa say, I remember drinking a cream soda on the back of a Model T. And that also put me off. I was like, this is kind of like an old person thing. But as I've gotten older, I've really grown to appreciate cream soda. And you see, it's a classic for a reason. A cool cream soda on a warm spring evening. That's right. It feels right. And actually, the clear color I've grown to appreciate more and more as well. Number 3, grape. Grape's got to be in the top 3 because grape was one of the original Faygo flavors. Way back in 1907, this was one of the first 3 flavors they made. And grape is similar to orange where it is not quite sugary enough to be a dessert only. You can drink it with dinner, but it's best to pair a grape with simple, salty dish. French fries, greasy pizza. Throw a grape with that. Perfection. Number 2, Red Pop. Red Pop has to be number 2. You know, I have a distinct memory burned in my brain. It is in the summer. It's hot. It's in the evening. It's after Little League. The smell of the ball field still on my clothes. You know that smell. That dirt, that dugout. And I remember looking at a styrofoam cup. Red Pop filled right up to the brim. Crushed ice. The fizz bubbling in the summer sun. And to me, I've remembered this my whole life. And the taste was so sweet. It cut through the heat, cut through my sweat. And it was just an absolute oasis. And to me, that is American summer. It's pure Americana. So Faygo Red Pop is number 2, without a doubt. But you have to drink it super chilled. You can't drink it warm. It has to be, just fill that cup with ice. July evening, Red Pop, that hits the spot. Number 1, what is the most iconic Faygo flavor of all time? It has to be. It cannot be any other than Rock and Rye. Rock and Rye is the definitive Faygo flavor. I mean, it is the flavor that no one else knows unless you know Faygo. It's not an imitation. It is only itself. And what does the name even tell us about the flavor? We don't even know. The name doesn't tell you anything about how it tastes. You have to taste it to know it. And it's similar to cream soda. Drink them back to back. It's very similar, but there's something mysterious, something different in Rock and Rye. It makes it all its own. It is the special, unique thing that is Faygo. Rock and Rye rules Michigan. It rules Faygo. It is the most iconic Faygo flavor of all time. Next, I want to take a look at a reel from our Instagram. So let's roll that. So I love this reel for a couple reasons. First, I love the cause. You know, you see this, you see all these proceeds going to save this historic landmark. Going to save this place that is on the verge of being forgotten. I mean, we look at what happens and we see old historic buildings and landmarks and places essentially being bulldozed. It's being forgotten, falling into disrepair, and once they're gone, they're gone. And what replaces it is nothing of any real value. And so to see people coming together and having all these proceeds go to that is just, it warms your heart, really. There's a lot that gets us down on a day-to-day basis when it comes to this kind of stuff, forgotten history. But to see people being a part of keeping it alive is just awesome. It really is. The second thing I love about this is the realness. You know, I have to admit, I get a little sick almost of how polished everything is these days. You know, you want to go to a ball game, a professional ball game, and you're sitting in the nosebleed section. Everything is just, the production level of everything is just so high. It almost detaches you from the game, from the event, from whatever. And so when I see something like this, it reminds me of minor league ball games. You know, minor league ball games are so great because you're so much closer. And I love that about this. It's just so real. You can see people's faces so close in that room. And it reminds me of, honestly, how we experienced sport or events and entertainment for most of our history, or at least in the modern era, until things got kind of so crazy with the polished thing. And I just love that for that reason. I love the result. I love people coming together to do that. I love all the proceeds going to that. And I love the vibe in general. I love how hometown-y it is, how real it is, how just close it is. And that's a great thing in our age that can feel so isolating. So I just love that reel. I'm OW Root for Michigan Enjoyer.